This is something we obviously take for granted a lot. Water, and clean water for us as humans. But for animals, have you ever thought of, I've thought about it a lot, when you're deer hunting and you see a deer come in and drink from a puddle or a pond or a creek, how do they not get sick from that? Because we know that we'll get sick if we just drink randomly from various water sources. It's different with animals, obviously. Let's first talk about how much water a deer needs. Deer need a lot of water, just like any other animal. Well, if you look at ruminants like cows need a lot of water, other ruminants. Deer need anywhere from 64 to 96 ounces of water during hot summer days like these. And it would be less, obviously, in the wintertime. When I say that, 64 to 96 ounces per 100 weight. So a 200-pound buck is going to need twice that. So that bottle of water I had, 7 to 15 equivalent bottles like that for a deer to get through summer. But one thing you need to understand is with a deer and other ruminants, they get a lot of their water requirements from the green leafy vegetation that they eat throughout the year. So that's something to keep in mind. They derive a lot of moisture, and actually a preponderance of their moisture comes from that vegetation. It's different with other animals like rodents, where they derive much more of their moisture from dry matter. And that's how mice and chipmunks and squirrels and things like that can get by, especially mice and other rodents, rats, when they're living in an environment without water. Okay, let's get to the actual physics on how a deer drinks. It's not too unlike a cow, a dairy cow if you watch a cow, but a deer, they will submerge their mouth into the water source and suck it in via a vacuum, sort of, and then they will use their tongue. If you look at a deer's tongue, it's a long tongue. It will bring that water into their mouth as they're drinking. As a prey species, they have to consume a lot of water in a short amount of time because they're worried about getting killed by other things. They've got to drink very fast. How do they not get sick? Well, ruminants are different, again, than humans in that the microorganisms in their body are going to be affected differently, and the enzymes in their body, the stomach acids, can fight some of those parasitic infections better than we can. However, deer can and do get sick very often by drinking from contaminated water sources. A couple things that we know through research is that science has shown us that dirty water, deer can smell it. They can smell the contaminants to a certain extent within the water, much like a dairy cow. A dairy cow will come near a contaminated water source and they simply won't drink it because they can smell it. They might even be able to taste it if they just get a little sample of it. So that's one thing we know. Another thing we know is they do get sick. 90% of deer in certain areas will have Giardia. It's a bad parasitic infection. It can kill humans. But another thing that we know is that similar to dogs, in that if deer get infected with Giardia, the chances of that Giardia transferring over to a human are pretty small, as opposed to a direct contamination source if you drink from a stream or a creek that has been contaminated with Giardia. For more information like this on deer behavior, biology, and research, be sure to check out our website at deeranddeerhunting.com, and by all means, click on that subscription button here on our YouTube page for more videos like this.
When it comes to broadheads, a guy's got a million choices, right? You got cut-on contacts, you got expandables, you got the hybrids. What do you want to shoot? So I'm picking out a broadhead for my son. This year, I'm going to have him shoot the new Titanium. It's a 3-blade head, 100 grains. It's from TruGlo. When you're looking for a cut-on contact head like this, what I'm always looking for is a strong ferrule. This one's going to have a titanium ferrule, so it's not going to break. I'm always looking for a sharp tip. This has that bone-crushing tip on it, which is extremely sharp as well. And then I'm looking for quality blades, and this has it. It opens up to 1 3/16", or it stays open at 1 3/16", I should say. And it's a great head. I mean, you can't go wrong. Check out the new Titanium FX 3-blade head from TruGlo. You won't be disappointed.